How you doing, y'all? Welcome to Confidence. Oh my God. Okay, so there's a lot that has happened over the last 7 days. I can't even begin to tell you. I feel like I'm going to love this podcast. I haven't even recorded it yet because I'm talking right now, but I feel like I'm going to fucking love it. And, you know, it's crazy. I'm just going to foreshadow. I feel fucking amazing today. And there's a lot that has happened for me to get to this point where I feel so good. Now, last podcast, I'm editing this fucking podcast and I'm listening back to it, and just a lot of things are coming up for me. Like the question that you guys submitted about, how do you lean into a relationship when the other person is showing up healthy and, you're kind of freaked out by it. And as I'm listening back to this question and I'm answering this question for this girl, I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, what am I doing? Right? This entire last podcast, I was talking the difference between boundaries and self-sabotage. And I was just really going in about how you really got to be really firm to the things that you feel like you need and you believe. And here's the thing. I know for a fact that is so real and it is so true. I'm telling you right now, that is the facts of life. But I do think that sometimes it is very difficult to determine what is our fear and what is it that we truly want. And I do think also too, like our preferences and our desires, they change, right? We're human beings. Our feelings change. The circumstances change. What we realize changes. And I think last week when I was going through this breakup with this person, like I definitely was having these strong feelings. And honestly, I don't think I'm through the woods yet. I'm going to be really real with you. I'm definitely not through the woods yet of some of the feelings that I'm having. And this is what I realized about myself. The truth is like my pattern is that I do have a fear of commitment. That's the truth. I really do. I actually really struggle. Like the question that somebody brought up, like that is true. Like when somebody does show up honest and real and consistent for me, what do I typically do? I fault find, and then I have a short-term relationship and I let it go. And, again, this is why it's been so difficult, because I do think that there are definitely things in a relationship that are non-negotiable to me that I really do value and I really do appreciate. But on the other side of things, like I could definitely be a perfectionist. I could definitely be somebody that, like will take little things about somebody and create the entire reason as to why I can't be with them and essentially push them away. And I've done it my entire life. And that's been the giant battle. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a continuation of that story, just really quickly. I am also going to tackle the question that you guys gave about healing your attachment and your triggers while you are single. I'm telling you, this week literally I don't understand. It just drove all of these things home for me. So I'm going to talk about healing some of those things and maybe some of the work that I do when I'm single to heal myself. I have a bunch of journal prompts that I went through today that I'm going to share with you. That's really deep shit. It's fucking awesome. But let's go back to the top and everything's going to fall into place. So I break up with this girl. First day, I'm feeling good, right? She fucking cries her eyes out. It's sad. I'm sad, and I'm just like, fuck, like, I don't know, maybe this is the right choice, whatever. She leaves my house and, it's really weird. In my journal, I want to say a week before, and this is going to sound fucked, but I wrote down in there, I was like, would I even be disappointed if I lost her? And I swear to God, in my journal, I wrote, I don't think I would. I think I'd be okay. It wouldn't matter. First day, it's over. I'm like, all right, cool. Next day, I'm feeling good about myself. Things are fine. I'm doing my thing. And, next thing you know, Friday comes around and just this feeling inside of me starts to fester. Even I want to say that the night after, I was like, did I make the right choice? Like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like it really was like it's so hard because I'm like, I tell people the reason why I broke up with this person. And I'm like, yeah, no, everything was fucking perfect. Like it was great friendship, great vibe, great everything. But yeah, I just didn't have this like extreme physical passion for this person. And then I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, did I always feel like that? And in some ways, she isn't my prototypical, type. And I think that is something, that is real. And I think that's what was hard for me is like, yeah, there is parts of me that's like, she's not like, and I always tell people, she's not my Margot Robbie. It's a fucked up thing to say. But again, it's just preference. And I actually was talking about it with my friends a lot, even deeper than this. Me and Jay are on a phone call, I think on Friday night for like 2 hours, and we're just going at it about this situation. We're talking about it and we're like, did I make the right choice? He's like, okay, so like, tell me the things that were wrong. I was like, I don't know. Like there really wasn't much. Like, I think it really comes down to preference. And I was like, I don't know. And like little things. And like, I'm just going to be really fucking blunt. And cause I was really blunt with her as well. And I think a little part of it is like, to be honest, I think I do like prefer curvier. Like that's my jam. She's a little bit more on the petite side. She still has an amazing, and this is so weird to say out loud, she still has an amazing body. Jesus Christ. But at the same time too, and I'm telling you, this is what we're talking about. I'm sorry, this is just real. But beyond just that part, I was like, the one thing that's a little troublesome for me is like the development, right? Is like, she just doesn't have those, habits that I do. But I was telling him, I was like, but on the other side of the coin, it's like, I've seen her evolve. Like she has been trying more. She has been trying to eat better. She's been going to the gym way more now that I've been in her life. And we're just like talking about these things and we're like, damn, like, what if I jumped the gun a little bit too early, right? Did I make the right move? Like, did I not give this person enough of a chance to, I think, assimilate into my lifestyle? And again, it wasn't because I was telling her to do that. She was just doing it on her own, right? I think she just like felt the example that I was setting. It was like, no, I want to do this for myself. And it's not that she was not about that life to begin with. It just wasn't such a big deal to her. But the truth is, it's a big deal to me. And yeah, so I was like thinking about all these things, but I was like, you know what? Like, I got to sit with this. Like, I just made this choice. I can't just like panic, go back. Like, I just need to sit with it. So I continue to sit with it, and God damn, Thursday night, I could not sleep at all. Just zero, just no sleep. I'm fucking stressed. I'm anxious. I went for like an hour walk before sleep. My body's telling me, it's like, something's not right here. I wake up on, I think it was either Friday or Saturday. Maybe that was Friday night. Sorry, that was Friday night. Saturday, I wake up. I'm not joking. Like, I just feel like a mess. I feel depressed. Like, you know what I'm saying? My room's a mess. My clothes are everywhere. The dishes are everywhere. I just like feel crummy. I hadn't gone to the gym in a few days because I haven't been feeling like good. I didn't post a single video, a single story in this amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I immediately got fucked up. And I was like, God damn. So anyways, the wildest thing happens. Saturday, I'm not joking, messy bed. I'm sitting there on the corner of my bed. I'm kneeling on the ground and I'm just like, I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to pray on it. Like, I don't know what I want to do. Maybe it's worth having a conversation with her, but I was like, let me just pray on it. I'm sitting there. I'm not joking. I like, this is so fucking real. I can't tell you. I'm sitting there. I'm praying. I'm praying for about 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, God, I was like, just please give me the right answer. I know I've been talking about God a lot too. And I just want you guys to realize I don't believe in organized religion. When I say God, I don't know. I'm just like talking to the unknown of life. You can call it the universe. You could call it, I don't know, whatever the fuck you want to call it, honestly. But anyways, I do believe that life kind of gives you what you desire as long as you ask for it and you align yourself to those things. Again, just the same thing with the boundaries, right? That we've been talking about. But I feel like prayer is a very, very powerful manifestation of that. And So I'm sitting there and praying to God, and I'm like, I'm not feeling good. I was like, just, just give me some answers. Like, I don't know how to feel. As I'm praying, I get a phone call, and it's her. And I'm like, holy fuck. I answer the phone. She's like, I have a question for you. I'm like, what's up? She's like, on March 22nd, did you pick up a girl at the coffee shop? I'm like, maybe. I was like, potentially. She's like, well, I was at the gym today, and obviously I was really sad. And there was a guy in there that came up to me, and we were like talking about it. And he told me that, hey, that guy isn't as good of a guy as you think that he is. I saw him pick up a girl on this day at the coffee shop. And she's like, is that true? And I was like, yes, that is true. I was like, and then we go into this conversation, and then this is where everything starts to come out. And I was like, yeah, that was the day that it was a Saturday. You were at a mansion party in Scottsdale, and I was feeling super anxious. This was one of the weekends. This was like 2-3 weekends ago where like, I was like, I can't do this. Like, this girl is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's going to these party things. I don't like this, right? Like, I want somebody more grounded, better habits, all this shit. I'm feeling so anxious. That was back to back. I think she had gone out Thursday for work. Friday, she works at the club. Same thing. Saturday, she's going to a party during the day, and then she works at the club at night. And I'm like, I'm struggling. You know what I mean? And there was a girl in the coffee shop that day that I saw, and it's weird because the girl that I picked up that day, I think she was with her man when I originally walked into the coffee shop. We locked eyes with each other. There was this weird energy, fucking crazy story. She like gets water for them too. And then as she's walking out, I thought it was her boyfriend. They're walking out. He's in the front of her. He opens the door and he walks out. She's trailing behind him. As she's leaving, we look at each other and smile. And I was like, oh shit, this is going to be trouble. But I was like, all right, whatever. Little flirty moment. They both leave. I was like, who cares? Like, I'm fucking sitting there sad journaling. And bro, next thing you know, an hour and a half later, she walks back into the coffee shop. She goes and gets another glass of water, but this time she's by herself. And I was like, she walks by me to like leaving, and I was like, where are you going? She's like, what? I was like what? Like, what's going on right now? Like, I was like, can I get your information? Like, what's happening right now? She's like, oh, whatever. Next thing you know, she sits down next to me and we start talking for like an hour and a half. I was like, who is that? And she's like, oh, that was just my friend. She's like, she told me that she's single right now. And I was like, oh, whatever. Anyways, we get into like an hour and a half conversation. I was like, hey, I'm gonna be honest. I was like, yeah, I've been like talking to this girl for like a month and a half, but like low key, I don't know. Like, I'm struggling with it a little bit. Like, she's cool. I really like her, but I just don't like this feeling I've been having. So I'm like being vulnerable with this random chick that I'm picking up. And honestly, the reason I picked her up, I was like, she was really fit. No offense. I mean, she was gorgeous. And yeah, next thing you know, I was like, yo, like, and this is all real. This is real. I was like, yeah, like, I don't know, we should hang out. She's like, oh, I'm not dating right now. I don't really know. She took my number, and then I was like, oh, give me your number. She's like, no, I'll text you. I was like, all right, cool. So anyways, she leaves at some point. She ends up, I think, DMing me on Instagram that night. And I was like, why didn't she text me? So I kind of got thrown off by that. I was like, you said that you were going to text me. So you're already not being almost like real to your word, which I didn't really love. And then she was like DMing me, and I was like, oh, like we should hang out or chill, whatever. And she's being like hella like dodgy about it. She's just like, oh, maybe I'll see you at the coffee shop, at the end of the week. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, all right, cool. Pretty much we haven't talked since that day. And yeah, never really have seen her again since that moment. I haven't hit her up. I didn't follow her back. I have looked recently. She unfollowed me. But I never followed her back in that moment because I was like, shady behavior. Like, why? You should have just texted me. That's kind of weird that you found me on Instagram and then DM me. So all of it's already weird. But anyways, in this moment, I don't tell this girl that I'm talking to on the phone that whole story, but I pretty much said, hey, to be honest, that is true. Like, I was feeling really anxious about the situation. I wasn't loving, like, the way that our relationship was. I saw her, I picked her up, and I said I wanted to hang out with her, but we never chilled. And I was like, to be honest, I was like, why don't you come over and like, let's talk about some stuff. So at that moment, she comes over to my house, and I pretty much just laid it all out there for her. I was like, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, this relationship is hard for me, and it's not hard for me just because of your lifestyle. It's also hard for me because of my pattern. So at first I took accountability. It's like, listen, I have a fear of commitment. I want to say that like every single time I date people, I feel like I don't really put all my eggs in one basket. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You're getting to know people, and, you're open to different possibilities. And honestly, one lesson I'm even learning from this situation in particular, and I talk about this on a lot of previous podcasts, is like, I know I'd given this girl kind of my word that I was going to be exclusive, to not like sleep with other people, but it really turned into like, I can't date other people. And we're only like a month and a half, 2 months in. And it felt like I was being rushed, and not because of her, but all this pressure that I feel from like people on the podcast and things like, oh, you should just know at that point. A lot of my friends, they're very much more quick to commitment than I am. But the hard part is like, as somebody that's like avoidant, it's so difficult. Like, giving somebody that commitment so fast, it like, I feel constricted and I feel overwhelmed. And that's what I was telling her, is like, it's hard. It's not that I don't like want to be with you, or I don't want to see this out, but it makes it really difficult to think that I can't even talk to somebody else because I'm talking to you. It makes me feel like I'm smothered and that I don't have like a choice. And it's weird because I am having these reservations about this relationship, probably one, because there probably isn't perfect alignment. And the second part is also probably because I am avoidant and I do fear commitment, right? And there are a lot of like people, like girls in my life that I meet that are attractive, like that one where I'm like, no offense, I would like to take that person on a date and see what's good and see who they are. Maybe we are a better match, or we are more aligned. And again, it's not to fault this person that's in front of me, but at the same time too, it's like, I'm looking for alignment. And committing myself to somebody a month and a half in, again, I understand that most people in life, they probably don't feel like they have the power to choose the partners that they want. They don't feel like they have the self-confidence to, to me, like receive the things that they desire, but I do. So that is the truth. So think about all those things combined. And I think this is where I had gotten to this point with her, where I was so overwhelmed by this relationship that I was just like, nah, I can't do it anymore. It's probably a couple things. It's all partial, right? It's partially, hey, there is that little bit of attraction that I felt like, or that I feel like is not like that next level attraction. And again, not because she's not fucking gorgeous, just again, preference wise. And I talked to her about this as well. The second part is like, I struggle with commitment. That's true. I am avoidant. It's difficult for me to be in that. That's not a joke. And the other end of it is like, it is still early, right? I sometimes feel like I do want to see what my other options are in a way, right? So I think all those things combined kind of overwhelmed me in that moment. And even though things had been so good, I was just like, push this person away, like too close, right? It got too close. And I was like, I need to stop. So I kind of talked to her and I'm like, hey, listen, the hard part for me is like, and listen, like, this is why I'm being dead honest about this, because I told her this to her face. I was like, like part of me really values like self-development, and that portion is important to me. Like, I go to the gym, I take care of myself. Like, I want my partner on the same wave. I'm sorry, that's important to me. And I said the other portion is, like, I'll just say it. And I told her to her face, I was like, typically I like date sometimes curvier women. And again, I just like told her, I was like, it's not that you are not gorgeous. And I don't like, again, I have this attraction to her. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm telling you, like the the first day we hung out and all the first times we spent together, I was like, this girl is beautiful. She really is. Again, just not my prototypical type. And it's true. Like, like men are visual. That's what it is. I like a little thick. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't change who I am. I can't change that about myself. That's just real. And I said, hey, like it's that. I also struggle with commitment. Like, and I told her, I was like, this is the reason that I even considered taking the other person on a date, is because when I typically date people, yeah, I am looking for other options almost all the time. That's just the way I've been. It's been my pattern. It's uncomfortable to stop that pattern. I know that it's not the best, right? I truly don't believe that is great for commitment. And I said, this is really the underlying fear behind it. And I think the reason that I struggle with commitment so much is because growing up, when I seen my parents' relationship, my parents are divorced. I made a pact with myself and I said, I will never end up in a relationship like that. I want my relationship to be perfect. And that's the truth. My biggest fear in relationships is that I want to be with the perfect partner, right? I don't want to not be with the perfect partner. But as you guys can see, what happens, right? Our fears become reality. And that's what ends up happening, is because I'm so dialed in on trying to create this perfect partner, because I'm so scared to be like my parents or my mom, who's perpetually single and alone because I feel like she's so fucking picky. And then I look at myself and I'm like, Chris, you're the same fucking way. And that's what's crazy, is like, think about commitment in general and people in general. People are not perfect. No one's going to be perfect. And this is why I've been in a lot of short-term relationships, is because this is what I do, is I look for perfection. I look for every little piece has to be exactly on point or exactly the way I need it to be, or I don't want to commit myself. And I think a lot of that is fear of vulnerability. I think one of the parts in the last podcast that was as I was watching it back, I was saying to myself of holy fuck. I literally was it was the part about, what it is you desire, lean into the things that you desire. You want safety. You want consistency. You want those things, and you're scared of the success of it. And the reason you're scared of the success is so that you don't have to be vulnerable. And I listened back to that part and I was like, fuck. I was like, that's me. That's me. And I'm like, damn. So I'm sharing all of this with her, to her face. And I was just like, listen, it's not that I don't want to work on things with you. I feel like I want to see this out, but in order for us to move forward, you have to know my truth behind those things. And, again, I was a couple things that I feel like I want and that I need is I do want you to commit yourself to healthier habits. That's important to me. And she's like, I can do that. I can do that. And I saw it from her already, and the other thing for me is my end of it is I have to potentially allow myself to be more vulnerable with somebody that isn't perfect. And that's scary as fuck for me. It's uncomfortable for me to commit to somebody. For a lot of people, they're so comfortable doing that. For me, the uncomfortability is looking at one person and being oh, this is it. That's how I feel. That's how my insides feel. It's oh, that's it. Game over. You know what I'm saying? That's a crazy statement to feel about relationships. I look at a relationship like settling. I look at a relationship like game over. This is it. It's crazy. And it's I have to work through that. And in order to work through that, I think I just need to go slow with somebody. And I think that's what I was telling her. I was obviously I have these needs that I feel are important. But I was on the other end too, it's I need you to take your time with me. It's I know that this is good. I want it to just keep being good. And I think if I go really slow, I'll eventually get to that place where I feel I can maybe fully commit myself. And I told her, I was I don't really want to seek out other people during this time. And like, I don't want to not give you safety and I don't want to not be hot and cold with you. But I was like, at the same time too, it's like, just allow me to move slowly with this. And, you know, obviously she understood. She accepted that, you know, those things had happened. And so now, yeah, I feel like that's kind of where I'm at with it, where we kind of made our peace. And I think we're going to continue to try to work on this in a slow way. And I think that's like a big step for me. It's like a big step for me to like look at somebody and be like, yeah, like I'm going to try to like be vulnerable and like lean in more. I remember like, you know, obviously we banged this past week. And like, it's crazy, like having to tell myself to allow myself to just be there and be present with that person and to like, just allow myself to just enjoy this person. Like, you know, me and Jay, this is the funniest fucking thing. We were talking about how all girls, eventually they just look like a human. Like when the makeup comes off and, you know, all the, you know, dressed up bullshit comes off, like, no offense, like most of these girls kind of all look the same. Like they just look like human beings, you know, we're laughing about that. We're like, you know, they just look regular. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if I met like a super quote unquote hot chick, like I'm sure like after the newness of it wears off, like I'm probably just going to see her as like a human being again. And it is true because every single time I date somebody, right? Even the long distance girl who I had this like, you know, I would say is more my type. There is definitely moments during that relationship where I also was thinking about other people. And I was also like, weirdly enough, like even in like some intimate moments, like my mind would just wander. I'm not joking about that. And in a lot of my relationships, like I could be sleeping with a girl. If I sleep with one girl for long enough, like my mind will just automatically start to wander about what else. And I will look at, like almost like weirdly fantasize about sometimes other things. And that's just real. And I think a lot of it is just because like, yeah, I've never allowed myself to lean in to a person. The truth. I'm always looking for the upgrade or whatever. But the truth is like, yeah, we're all just like people. And I think it's really about finding somebody where it is easy. And I think that's what I realized when I was like talking to Jay and we were talking about all this is like, she has a lot of great traits. She's so positive. She loves life. She just like, again, I feel like I'm hanging out with my best friend. That's what everybody fucking wants, right? It's like, we want a best friend. We want somebody we could just spend careless time with, or time just feels like it's flying by and it's easy and it's not hard. There's no fucking arguments. Literally, we don't fight. And again, maybe we just haven't got to that point. And again, this is why I want to go slow, is because, you know, we just got to continue to see what this connection feels like. And if it feels that good, why am I throwing it away just for this physical attraction or this mega attraction that I feel like, you know, like, yeah, maybe there's part of me that's like, yeah, maybe there are some, you know, girls that are more my type, but what am I just going to keep doing that? Is it all about that? And the truth is like, no. And again, most people, they do end up looking pretty the same to you after a while, right? Like the novelty of attractiveness and hotness wears off at some point. And again, it's not to say I don't think that this girl is beautiful. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And yeah, I don't know. Again, it is uncomfortable. It is. It's hard. I'm not joking. That shit is difficult. Like, yes, am I automatically healed because I had this moment? No, right? Like there's moments where I'm still sitting in a coffee shop and I'm like, that girl's cute. You know, and then I got to remind myself, I'm like, yeah, but like, what is that? Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, Chris, what does it matter? Like, focus on the things that are more important. And that's what I've realized about commitment. And before I even make a commitment to this girl, what I've realized is that I've avoided commitment in my life in a lot of ways. And even I tell you guys all the time about like the fucking content and shit. Like I haven't committed myself to me in a long time. And I know that when I do make that commitment to myself, that I feel the best. I feel amazing. And that's what I told myself. I was like, you know what? Why don't I just give this person a chance? Why don't I just Stop seeking out fucking bullshit for a little while and just focus on Chris. You know what I'm saying? Focus on the content. I've been avoiding the things that I care about more than anything else in life. I give a shit about me being an internet personality. That's the love of my life. And all I do, I'm like, why am I causing chaos, like picking up girls at the coffee shop, or just causing chaos by bringing in drama, bringing in multiple women into my life? For what? For what? If this person is meant to be here, it will be there, but I got to give that a chance. And if she's not my person, guess what? At least I'd given myself the full chance to see that. And even for myself, like, just grind on myself. No homo. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, like, just like put the work in, show up and do the things that I love. It's not even about the relationship. I realized that I've gotten a lot of my self-worth through my external validation. And I'm realizing that too. It's like, it's a lot of ego. It's a lot of ego because I haven't fully been able to just love my life in a long time. I told you guys about how I've been not feeling great about myself. And again, I think that is a reflection of the choices that I've been making, causing chaos, sabotaging my good things, and not working on the things that are most important to me. That's the truth. Is that if I'm really being honest, the most important thing to me right now is being an internet personality. Go look at my motherfucking TikTok. I have not shown up. That's the truth. And I've avoided what is really important to me by not making that commitment to myself because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to believe in myself. It's uncomfortable for me to love myself. It's uncomfortable for me to like believe that I'm fucking worthy of that. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for me to commit myself to me. I feel like I've had a massive revelation. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened over the last few days. But let me continue on, right? So to the question that I think we had this week, right? The girl said, is it possible to work on attachment and triggers while single? If so, how do you like to go about this? Now, I guess I'm semi in like a talking stage relationship, whatever the fuck I'm doing. But I still view myself as single right now. And honestly, a lot of the work I've done on myself has been single. Now, for me in particular, my biggest pattern is this, which is like, yeah, I really avoid commitment and I feel like I need to find the perfect partner. I feel like no one's ever good enough. I feel like I'm not good enough. That is the work that I have to work on. But I could still do this single. And the reason I say that is because the work I just did on myself recently has nothing to do with just her either. A lot of it is inner self-reflection. A lot of it is reflecting things off my journal or my friends. You get what I'm saying? It's like a lot of this work, she's not doing it for me. Yes. Is the situation triggering me in different ways that is making me learn shit? Yes. But you could also do that single. Like, that's the beauty of that. So just a quick summary of like how to work on things single. Self-reflection and journaling, which I do every motherfucking day. It's the truth. And it's so huge. Whenever I feel a trigger about something, whenever I feel off about something, I get to the journal and I start going at it. I got to reflect. Why do I feel this way? Where does it come from? What's the story? And we're going to talk about that in a second. I did a massive amount of 2 hours of journaling today. That's right. And then also practicing mindfulness and emotional regulation. You could work on that single. You know what I'm saying? You could work on the feelings of getting rejected, those different things. Like, there's so many things that you could work on when you're by yourself. Also, therapy or coaching. I mean, this is huge. I want to say that pretty much everybody that I work with, for the majority, is single. Almost every single person. When they get into a relationship and they're in a happy situation, I'm like, hands are clean. Goodbye. I'm like, go handle that, because that's my trigger. I'm like, I can't commit, but I can get you into a commitment. I'm fucking awesome when it comes to the single life. Like, that's the shit. But again, like, this is huge. If you're single and you're working on yourself and you want that extra step, get help. Get a therapist, get a coach. This is huge. You need somebody that can help reflect things off you. I'd honestly beg to say, like, Jay, he won't tell you this, but he's a lawyer. But I know that deep down, he's told me numerous times he wants to be a therapist. And I'm going to be honest with you, in a lot of ways, and I'm not saying he's my therapist, but in a lot of ways, he's helped me tremendously, tremendously. And he should become one because he's amazing at it. He's great at self-reflection and reflecting these things. He's awesome. And again, I've got my own therapy. When I was going through the last, 6 months after the long distance thing, bro, I was therapy every week, weekly, reflecting these things. You got to get help. You can do that when you're single. And then the last thing too is trigger exposure. Put yourself in situations that you know are uncomfortable. I mean, you're going to hit your triggers regardless. This is life, right? Just being single, being in a relationship, every single week, I think I get triggered by something, at least one thing, maybe. Some years, some months are better than others, right? Sometimes of your life, you're fucking triggered all the time, every day, right? You got to expose yourself to those things. You got to feel those things. So speaking of which, like I said, now, something did happen during this time that, I'm working on these things with this girl. There was another situation with another girl, right, that I had that I hung out with. I picked up another girl that I'd hung out with. It was like a night out. And to be honest, I didn't think anything of her at first, but then we started vibing. And next thing you know, I don't know, we had a little moment. We danced a little bit. I add this girl on Instagram. She's like, oh, I'll add you back. So I'll see you later. Next day, nothing. Doesn't add me back. I look at this girl's profile. Bro, I knew this about her, but I didn't realize how big she was. She's actually a massive influencer that I met out randomly. And I felt mega rejected. And this shit was killing me. And honestly, this isn't the first time this has happened, to be real. It's weird. And I think this is also part of the reason that I struggle leaning into the person that I'm with, is because I still feel like fundamentally, sometimes I don't feel like enough. And I think this is why I seek external validation outside of a commitment where somebody's showing up for me. That's the truth, and I know there's a lot of women listening to this, but yeah, I'm a fucking man. I have fear of commitment. I'm avoidant. I do sometimes man shit. You want to call me trash sometimes? Sure, go ahead. Right? I'm not perfect. That's the truth. And it's not that I'm intentionally trying to do this to hurt people. I don't want to lead people on, whatever, but this is just what I'm going through right now. And again, it's I'm watching my patterns in my life. All of this stuff is exposing itself to me, and I'm trying to learn. And right now, what I think I'm fighting between is this girl that is great and consistent, but also doesn't have that egotistical value, right? In a way, right? It's this, you know what I'm saying? Stable and shit. And then the part of Chris that is still struggling with external validation, talking to these girls that are hot girls that I would feel very prideful showing off because they're so, big on social media or whatever. And in my mind, I'm think about how cool I would look if I was next to a girl like that. So anyways, weirdly enough, last night, things are good. I go to sleep and I'm by myself and I have this weird fucking dream. This weird dream. And in this dream, and it's very vivid. And also one little caveat to this. I know I'm all over the place today, but this is great shit. Yesterday, I've been stopping smoking weed because again, I've been trying to make better choices of living healthier and allowing myself to feel uncomfortable emotions. Last night, I was oh, I'll probably just smoke, at night. I've been really good about not smoking at all, but I was oh, fuck it. I feel really good right now. And I'm it would be cool to smoke and just chill out for that. And I was you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to do it. So, but now that I'm not smoking, what's happening is I'm having these really vivid dreams because I'm actually hitting fucking REM sleep. If you smoke weed before you sleep, you don't hit REM sleep. You don't really dream often, or your dreams are not as strong. So recently my dreams have been vicious, but yo, your dreams tell you a lot. They tell you a lot about the things that have been triggering you. So it was weirdly on my mind last night. Like I'm going to bed. I'm trying to lean back in. We're going slow in this relationship, but I still feel this weird rejection from this other person. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why do I care so much? I'm like, why the fuck do I care? I was like, I don't. Like, I want to, like, stop. I'm like telling myself, I'm like, yo, focus, Chris. Like, focus on the stuff that is important to you. You have a good person in front of you. Like, yo, focus on your content. You're going to get this shit, right? I'm literally telling myself affirmations as I'm laying there in my bed alone. I'm like, you are successful. You got this, Chris. Focus, Chris. I was like, for some reason, I had this like epiphany last night where I was like, this is a major turning point in your life. Like, you're going to do this shit. You're going to turn this shit around. Like, you know, like all these fucking crappy feelings you've been feeling, like what, like let it go. Stop letting the mistakes online get to you. Letting these minor rejections get to you. Cut it out. I was like, love yourself, appreciate the goodness that you have in your life. I roll over, I go to bed. Bro, I wake up in the middle of the night, 4:00 in the morning, but I have a dream. And in the dream, it's really strange. I don't know what this is, but I'm going to this club, right? Apparently like Jimmy Butler's there. I have no idea. I don't give two fucks about Jimmy Butler. If you don't know who Jimmy Butler is, he's just a random basketball player. I'm not joking. It's not like I'm a Warriors fan. I have no idea what the connection is. Zero. But anyway, apparently he's in there, and like I'm supposed to like go in there and like meet these people. I have like a ticket or something like that. And I get to the front, you know what I'm saying? To like go in there, like we have like a table or something like that. And I get there and like I'm by security and I'm being my goofy self. I make a joke to security and they're like, nope, you're not getting in. I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, I was just fucking kidding. And they're like, no, you're not getting in here. And I was like, what the fuck? And like, I'm not joking. I wake up and I'm like, whoa, like, what the fuck was that? I was like, what the fuck was that? Bro, you know what I do? It's 4 a.m, right? I go to ChatGPT and I'm not joking. This is at 4 a.m. And I was like, I have to fucking figure this out. I'm rolling around in my bed. I'm like, how the fuck do I get rid of this deep sense of envy, right? Like I have this like giant sense of envy towards others. I don't know if you guys really know this about me, but like I think the reason I've been really debilitated in my creating process is because like I'll go online, I'll see other creators, like even ones that started before me, and they're like doing so well, they're posting, their engagement is amazing, and it makes me feel this like deep sense of lack. And even in like these little situations where like I get rejected by these people that I think are like cool, like cooler than me, I feel this like deep sense of like rejection and envy. And I'm like, I gotta fucking stop this. I was like, this is the thing that is blocking me. It's blocking me right now. It's not allowing me to show up online. It's not allowing me to like sink into like the things that are important to me, right? I'm blocking my blessings. So I messaged ChatGPT. I was like, if you develop like, I would say deep envy of other people, I was like, where do you feel like that comes from? And it was like, it could come from a couple of different places, like unmet desires. You see somebody with the life, partner, body, success, or attention you want, and envy kicks in as a reaction to not having that thing, especially if you've been working hard for it. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I was like, comparison and shame. Envy often comes when you're comparing their highlight reel to your behind the scenes. It brings up shame around you not being good enough. And then disconnection from your own power. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of real. Like, you know, I'm not being me. I'm not seeing myself as valuable. I'm like, all of this is in alignment. Think about all the conversations I'm having over the fear of commitment, the lack of vulnerability, all this stuff. It's like coming to a head. And then it says buried grief or resentment. Sometimes envy is a mask for a feeling of loss, disappointment, or frustration, feeling like overlooked or behind in life. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of is describing me. So then I sent it a voice note. It was 4 minutes long. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but this is what I started to tell the fucking ChatGPT at 4 a.m. I was like, well, I think I sometimes have this really deep feeling of envy towards other people on social media, or towards friends that, like, I don't know, have historically have been like very good looking, and I compare myself. I feel like I should be further, which makes me go down like a rabbit hole of why I feel so triggered when I get rejected. I just want to heal that. I want to heal looking at those things and not letting it bother me, because I feel like it's hindering me from showing up, from being myself, from being me and just being intentional and having a good time. And I think it's always been a big problem for me. I've always felt like I've been overlooked or not that cool. And like, yeah, I just feel like it holds me back so much in my life, And I think it stops me from being fully myself. And, when I get rejected or I see the numbers and I don't do well, like it destroys me. I know that it is blocking me, because if I fuck up or I don't look cool to somebody, it ruins me for like a day, 2 days. And then I get off track, and then I get inconsistent, and then I lose momentum. It's so debilitating. Right. And I was like, I get really triggered and my ego gets hurt when I have those experiences where I'm not chosen, and especially with people that have like a lot of money, or they have things that like I feel like I don't have, or like really cool people per se, right? And I was like, I don't want to look at people and feel this way, but like it just happens, right? And it just triggers the fuck out of me. I go on and I talk about how like, there's been instances where I've picked up girls that are like, I felt were like super hot, and like they just never like followed up with me, and then I feel all this trigger. All these things, like, and I was like, yeah, like I do want these nice things. But anyways, I was like, I don't know where it's at. Like what the fuck is going on? And then it came up with like 3 things. I was like, where it comes from. It was like, you described feeling like you weren't the chosen one in middle school, or the hot or the cool guy. And it creates a wound of, I'm not enough unless I'm exceptional, which is very true about my life. And we're going to talk about that. So sometimes when somebody hot or successful or all these things or socially dominant doesn't choose you, like it triggers of like, and ChatGPT says, it whispers to me, see, still not good enough. And I was like, damn, that's real as fuck. I was like, fuck. So, and then how it plays out, you attach to external validation, followers, numbers, hot people, luxury status, not because you're shallow, but because they represent security and proof of worth. And when I say my worth is in my work, I think that's a lot of what it is, right? It's in this external validation. My worth is in like meeting hot people and being like getting the hot girl or being friends with the cool people. It's like I've put a lot of my worthiness into that. And when I don't get it, apparently I feel shame, right? Not sadness, not disappointment, like basic underlying emotions that probably normal people would feel. It's like this deep feeling of shame, like of I must not be enough. You lose presence, you lose play, you disconnect from you, right? That's what I'm saying. I lose me. And this is what's happened. I think the reason I've blocked myself for years, from commitment, from success, is probably because of this, is because I get through random moments where if that external validation isn't there, whether it's a girl, whether it's numbers, whether it's followers, whether it's views, I get destroyed. I tell this girl that I'm talking to all the time, I'm so hot and cold. I'm so hot and cold. And the reason I'm so hot and cold is because my whole life is probably built on motherfucking external validation. When I'm hot, I'm on top and I'm feeling good and I'm me and I'm goofy. But as soon as I get that external validation ripped away from me, I feel like garbage. Or I can't show up. I can't be myself. I'm not grounded. And then how to heal it. It started telling me some bullshit. I was like, this shit sucks. I was like, give me some journal prompts so I could use to heal this. And that's what I did. I got some journal prompts to heal all this. And this is why I brought it up with the question of like healing yourself while you're single, healing these attachments, because guess what? This trigger came from a dream. This trigger came from being rejected by a person in the world randomly. You know what I'm saying? This had nothing to do with me being in a relationship, quote unquote. Again, I'm getting triggered from all motherfucking angles, apparently. Social media, the semi-committed relationship I'm in, the fucking girls apparently I'm picking up. everything. So again, can you heal shit while you're single? Yes, you motherfucking can. And this is the type of self-reflection I hope you guys are seeing that you can do for yourself. So I was like, give me some journal prompts and let's attack it. But now you guys are going to hear some real shit about my life. And yeah, I hope you're ready. So, God damn it. God fucking damn it. All right. So we started off with, all right, let's get to the root, right? Where did this come from, right? This, feelings I've been having, this deep envy, right? And the question is, when's the first time I remember not feeling chosen? What's the story I tell myself about this? So I was looking at it and I was like, I remember feeling not chosen by my family. I remember thinking to myself, like, why is my dad not really around? And honestly, I remember feeling like my mom wasn't really around either. That's the truth. Like my mom was always working. So historically in my life, I just always felt alone. I always didn't feel chosen by the people that parented me, And yeah, I just never really had a really close relationship with my family. And to be honest, I think the biggest thing that came from that is that I just always felt really misunderstood by my family. And I think in turn, because I didn't feel understood by my family, I always felt misunderstood by other people as well. I feel like when you grow up like that, like the black sheep of the family, the problem is then you project that onto the rest of the world. And I feel like that all the time. I tell people that I'm around that are my friends all the time, I'm like, yo, like sometimes I feel like people don't get my personality. Like they don't get who I am. And I'm like, where does that come from? Is it really because I'm really that unique? Or is this really just like a projection of me not feeling loved and appreciated by my parents when like I was growing up? I feel like a lot of that is what it is. Like, I project that feeling onto the world of this feeling of being like misunderstood. And then it was like, what kind of people have historically made me feel small, invisible, or not good enough? And why? And I was like, I feel like the people that make me feel that way have always been like the quote unquote cool kids. Like the cool kids made me feel that way. Like, I feel like, the popular crowd or the party crowd, I always felt like I never like fit in with them. And like, I was never like cool enough to like hang out with them. I always just felt like they were like two-faced and like egotistical and shit. And maybe underlying, like the truth is like, maybe I wanted to be part of that group and they just kind of rejected me. And then when I was looking at that, I was like, damn, I really project the fuck out of that in my current life now. Like think about one of the non-negotiables I have with this girl. I don't want a party girl. And I think a lot of the reason is maybe because of this underlying trigger, right? And I didn't realize it until I got to the bottom of this, right? It's like maybe underneath I've always wanted to be accepted by that crowd. And, it's weird. Like the girl that broke my heart at like 25, like this girl was like the epitome of that. Like I met her in Scottsdale and she was like the super hot girl that partied all the time. And I was essentially face to face with my own trigger. It was like me trying to earn acceptance and love from this girl that was living this lifestyle and was this girl that was like this super hot girl that I wanted to be chosen by, because I felt that if I can get with her, look at what it would say about me. And I was like, whoa. You get to the root of some of this shit. It's crazy. And I realized that like a lot of the things is like, I don't feel cool enough about myself. I don't feel cool myself. And because of that, I've always wanted to have that, again, that external validation from these people. And instead of like trusting my own path and trusting that I was valuable as I was seeking this like validation from these people. And I was like, damn, like this is real. And the next one was, what did I believe I had to be in order to be enough growing up? And where did that belief come from? And this is all just like, it's so crazy how all of this is me. I was like, I always felt like I needed to be the star. I always felt like I needed to work 2 times harder than everybody else for the same result. I felt like I needed to be funny. I felt like I needed to be charming. I felt like I needed to be witty because I needed to perform essentially in order to be valued because I felt overlooked. I felt overlooked for a lot of reasons. I just felt like I wasn't that cool. So I felt like I had to like be all these things to like, perform and get these people's love. And, I think that belief comes from me trying to maybe impress my mom, right? Earn my mom's love. She was very emotionally unavailable and like it was very performance based. I felt like the only way she would like be nice to me is if like I was like on point and perfect. Hence where a lot of this shit comes from. And again, probably her own fears and struggles with relationships for herself that she's still single. No offense. Love you, mom. But it's just real, right? It's like, because she's that way. She's controlling. She could be demanding. And again, I look at myself and like those words, I'm saying them out loud. How was I in a lot of my previous relationships? I'm controlling. I've been demanding. Because I'm expecting this level of perfection and I learned it. It's conditional. I always felt like, I just wanted to be like good at sports to like impress my dad. Like my dad was never around and I felt like the only way that he would care about me or like show up to my games is if I made it to the playoffs or like it was a championship game. So that's why I'm pretty good at sports. Cause like I always just felt like I had to be the one, you know what I'm saying? If I wasn't fucking good, then he wouldn't give a shit about me. Or like maybe he would come around more because then he'd come to my games because he was never there. That was kind of fucked, So I feel like I built this personality where I just feel like I had to perform to try to earn people's love. And I like kind of almost weirdly became like this weird people pleaser in a way because of that. I was kind of the peacekeeper in my family as well. So yeah. The next one was, if I had to name the exact moment I decide I wasn't worthy as I am, what would it be? And I was like, I don't really know the exact moment, but I think a lot of it came from like my brother and my mom. Like I always just felt like they didn't really see me or they didn't really like truly like support me. Like my brother, he never wanted me around because he always felt like I was like the little brother that he had to bring around his friends because my mom was forcing him to. So like, think about this dynamic. My dad's not really there. My mom's always working and she's like, not really emotionally available. The only person that I really spend time with that was like close to was like my brother. My brother was always mad or jealous of me that I got to hang out with him and his friends. My brother was like kind of part of the cool kids growing up. So like I never fit in with him and his friends really that much, but I almost was like forced to be around them because I had nowhere else to go. Like I would go to like, my brother's friend's house after school because my mom was fucking working and my dad wasn't there. So like I always just felt like a piece of baggage to like everybody in my life. And so I just never really felt worthy or seen or understood. And, they don't realize it and they're not bad people. None of them. My dad's not bad. My mom's not bad. My brother's not bad. Trust me, they have their own flaws. They have their own baggage that they're dealing with, so this is no blame to them, right? They're amazing people and I love them all so much. But this is just the truth behind it is like, I just felt like a burden. I felt like a burden in life for a long time, like growing up. And I didn't really realize it as that, but like, some of my earliest memories around that is like sitting there playing video games by myself, like thinking to myself, like, these people don't understand me at all. Like I would just put my headphones in and I would play like Guitar Hero, or I would just go downstairs in the basement and just do my own thing, just play with my friends. That's why I feel like great with my friendships. And I've always gravitated towards good friendships is because friendships have always really been my true family. Like Jay is probably like, that's like my brother, you know? And a lot of my friends, I really have this close, genuine relationship to, because that's what I felt like I had to rely on when I was growing up. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. It's fine. But, you know, it's important to understand where this shit comes from. And yeah, again, I just didn't feel worthy, I guess. You know, I just, yeah, I guess underlying when you really think about it, I just didn't feel chosen in a way. And I feel like this is a lot of like, I guess the root of like why. All right. So the next couple ones, if you guys want to keep going, this is good, man. It really is. This is why I said the self-reflection is awesome, because to really look at all this stuff and just bring it to your awareness. Like, I understand now, like today, you know what I'm saying? Is like when somebody rejects me, I'm like, who cares? Like, I'm fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm chill. Like, all right, let's get to that part. Reclaiming your power. What would I say to the younger version of me who felt overlooked or not cool enough? I would tell him that you are cool as fuck. You're funny as fuck. You are one of the best friends that people can have. You're funny, you're smart, you're genuine, and people would be lucky. Fuck. People would be lucky to have you. And those other people that reject you for wanting to be cool, let them be cool. Let them be with ego and just be you. Fuck. God damn. The next one was, in what ways am I chasing validation today that I actually crave to give myself? I said that validation that I am cool, that I am funny, that I am good enough, that I am great at what I do. I seek it externally, but the truth is like, I know that about myself. I am those things. I am enough. I am worthy. I am funny. I'm fucking dope. And, yeah, I can give that to myself by, you know, reminding myself of that when, you know, I meet somebody that doesn't fuck with me, or when a video doesn't do well or doesn't do that great. It's like, who fucking cares? Like, I know who the fuck I am, you know? It's like, I always tell people, like, it's weird. The person that I feel like I am confidence-wise in person is so different than the person that I feel like online sometimes. Like, I feel so confident in person. Like, I feel funny. I feel smart. I feel all those things. I feel amazing. I feel great. Like, that's what I said. A lot of people that meet me in real life, like, I feel like I'm an amazing person. I'm an amazing friend. And I truly believe that about myself. But again, the reasons that I get stuck is sometimes I get bogged down by the external validation. What parts of me do I only feel safe after somebody has chosen me or approved of me? The parts of me that feel safe, I think, and weirdly, is like kind of like my sadness or my anxiousness, or my desire for closeness. I feel like I don't really share that with people. I'm really more like most people that I meet. And sometimes my goofiness, but I usually am like sarcastic as fuck to begin with. But I think when people get to like know me and I trust people, I then trust showing them my fears. I trust showing them my weakness. I trust showing to them my vulnerability. And it's actually something that I wish I would show even more online. And even right now, I guess I'm showing it right now. And this feels fucking amazing. It feels great to just share this and be real with people. And I feel like I need to do more of that despite like, you know, the way that people will look at me like I'm not fucking cool or some shit. When do I feel most like me, not performing, not proving, just being? I feel that way, and weirdly enough, when I'm alone. And I thought this was a really interesting portion of it because like that is the truth. And I think that's also really related. I think that's also really related to just me having to be alone so much growing up, right? I was telling you guys how like I felt like a burden to like my family and things, but like the reason I feel like I could be myself when I'm alone, that's why I make a lot of my videos when I'm alone and I'm with people. If you look at my TikTok, I rarely make videos with other people. And the reason is because I feel uncomfortable sometimes to be that full self with people. I'm like, I know I want to be an internet personality. The reason I don't take my phone out and record when I'm with my friends is because it's like weirdly embarrassing to me. And I think a lot of that is because underlying, I feel more comfortable to be myself when I'm alone, when nobody's around. I remember this shit, like it brings up a memory for me when I was like a kid. Like I remember being in my room, and this is kind of embarrassing. I remember being in my room, like, listening to, this is going to sound fucking gay, but the Venga Boys. If you guys don't know who the Venga Boys are, go look them up. If you ever seen the Six Flags commercial, it's that song, "We like to party. We like to party. Hey now, hey now." You guys know the song? Maybe you know the song. But anyways, I used to like listen to that song, and I used to like jump on my bed and like dance with my pillow. Jesus Christ. Top 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's questionable. That's very questionable. I mean, I was a kid. It was one of the first CDs I got. I got that, and I got Eminem. So don't worry. I had like my masculine side too. Don't you worry. All right, Chris, you're fucking straight, bro. Long story short, first off, one of my favorite artists, one of my favorite albums ever, Venga Boys. They also have Boom, 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 Boom. I Want You in My Room. That song's a banger. Like, I love all those. You want to know the reason I'm into house music is probably that album. Fucking incredible. I'm going to go listen to it after this, because maybe I need some inner child work right now. But long story short, that's me. That's the real me. Would I ever show that to somebody? Probably not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Is it like if my brother walked in the room, I'd be like, whoa, like, you know what I'm saying? If my mom walked in the room, like, what the fuck is going on? You know, like I didn't feel free to be goofy, you know? So I feel like, yeah, I feel like that's something that I want to work on, is like being that full self more outwardly towards people. Again, it's crazy because the thing that I want deepest the most is the thing that I fear the most, right? Which is two things. It's funny as fuck. The things that I fear the most, like I want the most in life are what? I want to be an internet personality, and I want a beautiful relationship. What are the two things that I fear the most? I fear commitment, and I fear being myself entirely in front of people, which is strange. You know, it's like, because they're the two things that you want the most, but I guess that's what happens, right? If you love something the most, you also have the most amount of fear behind it. So it's something that I got to work through. If I want these things in the actuality, I have to learn to get uncomfortable and start showing those parts of me. And the other time I feel like I'm my most self is when I'm with my best friends, or when I'm with people that I trust, right? I really like being in front of people where I feel like they accept me for who I am. Like, yeah, like I'm goofy, I'm fun, I'm just me. It feels good. So yeah, we're reclaiming it. And now it's like, work on the trigger a little bit. Some other journal prompts. What do I make it mean when somebody doesn't choose me? Is that the truth? Sometimes I feel like, yeah, like it makes me feel like I'm not worthy, or that I'm not it, or that I'm not that cool. And it's like, why the fuck do I do that? Right? No, that's not the motherfucking truth. Like, let them go do their thing. It's funny. Those types of people, right, that I look at, like I hear stories about people that are so ego driven that they're pretty unhappy themselves. Like, no offense. Like, here's the thing. Like, my brother and his friends were like the ego, I would call them, but they're not, right? Because they're just people. But they're cool kids, the party kids. They're like, girls, guys. They were always drinking. They're always fucking around. They were kind of like the cool kids on the block. My friends were more like the low key friends. Like I would say we had more of a genuine vibe between us. Like we loved each other. Those types of people seemed more selfish, like to themselves. Like they were so infatuated with themselves that they just like used each other for like validation. And I also relate that to the club scene a lot. And also the reason why, like, again, I get so triggered by the club scene and I get so triggered by party people is because I look at them and I almost feel like, you don't really care about each other. You don't love each other. You're not genuine. But again, I'm still eager to get their validation. And that's the part that I need to repair in myself. It's like, stop fucking caring about those people. Who gives a fuck? Let them go be miserable, or maybe they are happy. Who cares? There are party people that are actually honest and real and trusting and cool. And the problem is it's my own trigger to stereotype them like that. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is like, let them, who cares? If somebody doesn't choose me, they don't choose me. It doesn't mean I'm not as cool as them or I'm not, worthy. That's stupid. What would it look like to be deeply secure even when somebody doesn't pick me? It would look like letting it go. It would look like if somebody reject me saying, okay, cool, whatever, like go live your life, whatever. It's not a big deal. It has nothing to say about who I am. It has nothing to do with me. And I take it too personal. If a video doesn't do well, if I was truly secure, I would go up there and post another one and I wouldn't fucking care. And I wouldn't put so much of my self-worth into these external things. I'd get my self-worth from how great I am as a friend, from my honest commitments, from my genuine friendships, from just being alive instead of what circle I'm in or how many followers I have or how many views I have. I would stop caring about it so much. That's who I'd be if I was way more secure. When I get rejected or feel envy, what is the fear underneath? The fear underneath is that, again, I'm not cool enough or I'm not worthy enough or that I got to be somebody in order to be chosen. Not true. I'm chosen by a lot of people. A lot of people love me. A lot of people vibe with me. A lot of people enjoy who I am. Stop getting caught up in like how cool somebody is or what crowd they're in. I can give two fucks. Run your own race. Be in your own motherfucking lane. That's what it's about. And I got to remind myself of that. And what could I believe instead that would set me free? What I could believe is that I am dope enough, despite what people might feel, think, say about me. I believe that nothing is ever that personal, right? That they have a right to include me in their life or not. If somebody doesn't pick me or doesn't want to date me, cool. Deuce a loose. And no offense, it's not personal either way. Let it go. And yeah, just generally like rejection is not representative of my value. And yeah, how would I show up if I trusted that I'm already the thing that I'm trying to approve? I would just be me in all situations at all times, right? Someone else's success would not bother me. It doesn't bother me that you're doing great. I'd be happy that those people that I'm comparing myself to, great. I'm happy that you guys figured it out and that you're in your own thing. Again, stop getting so caught up in what everybody else is doing and just be me. And that's how it would show up when I'd have nothing to prove because my value just actually came from me and not from external things. What experiences have shown me that when I'm my most authentic self, I attract aligned people and opportunities? Yo, if you want me to be real, this fucking girl, the girl in front of me, I've had to do nothing besides be myself. And it's been electric and it's been amazing. No fuss, no trying to get her to care about me, no trying to get her to earn her love. It's not hard. When she says she's going to be there, she's there. And she thinks I'm the funniest person she's ever met. That's crazy. And I've done nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I proved that to her. I just shown up on the date. Hey, what's up? This is me. Goo-doo-doo-doo. You know, it's like, here I am. And she loves it. I've had to do nothing. And that's the thing, is like, that's the truth. Online's the same way. Like back in the day when I was first starting, when there wasn't so much pressure and there wasn't so much numbers and there wasn't so much comparing myself to the old version of me, the version that had views and whatnot, I just would let it fly and people would love that shit. The truth is when I am purely authentic, when I am vulnerable, when I am myself, that is when people love me the most. That is the truth. It's when I'm trying so hard or I'm so scared of how I'm going to be perceived that, yeah, people don't vibe with that. And that's the truth, is like, then I attract people that I'm not even aligned to, right? It's like, again, if I have to like earn your attention, it's not worth a damn. It's not worth anything. I shouldn't have to prove myself to anybody. I should just be me. And if you don't see that in me, you're going to show me that. But guess what? I need to accept that. And I need to not take it personal. Even one thing I even wrote down was like, you know, my college life, like I tried to join a couple different fraternities when I first got to college. And I was like, I don't feel like these people are like me. So what I did was I started my own fraternity. And that's representative of like what I need to do with my own life. I started my own fraternity and I was like, and I wrote down, I'm like, yeah, you know what? We were pretty much a group of goobers for a little while. That's the truth. But the truth is like, we built a dope ass house. We grew the house from 16, 19 random little kids to 50, 60 on a giant campus. We ended up winning the football championship. And it wasn't because I tried to fit in with the crowd of all the cool fraternities. It was because I said, fuck all that. If y'all don't want me, I'm going to do my own thing. And that to me is the biggest representative of how I need to live my life in general. Is if people are not accepting me, I'm not trying to fit in with you anymore. I got to do me. I got to do Chris. I got to make the commitment to myself. And guess what? The right people, I am going to attract them into my life. It's not going to be a fuss. It's not going to be hard. And that's the truth. The truth is when I have leaned into myself, I've truly attracted the right people into my life. What kind of life opens up when I stop trying to earn my place and just take it? All the opportunities that I'm talking about, the cool kids when they're standing on the table, all this other stuff. The truth is financial abundance will come to me. The truth is the followers will come to me. The internet personality that I want will come to me. The relationship that I want will come to me. It's crazy. All the things that I fucking genuinely want are right in front of my nose, which is me being me, and stop worrying about that fucking shit. And last one, if I fully believe that I was enough, how would I show up differently online, in dating, and in my day-to-day? I mean, online, I would just be me. I would show up, the internet personality, my goofy self, not fearing rejection, not caring about the views, not worrying about what somebody's going to say about me. In dating, showing up intentional, still being myself, still shooting my shot, not being afraid of rejection, not being afraid to take the risk. It's not that I'm wrong for shooting my shot at these people that I think are attractive. Where I get it wrong is by allowing their rejection to define me. That's it. It's not that I should stop being me. It's not that I should stop being intentional. It's not that I need to stop showing up. I need to keep showing up. But I got to stop worrying about and getting so down on myself when it doesn't work out. It's that simple. And in my day-to-day life, I mean, just be fucking happy. Just love myself. Just be myself. Be happy with all the things that I have. Just have vicious amount of appreciation for the things that I've created, the life that I have. I'm so motherfucking blessed. I'm so blessed. You guys have no idea. The fact that I get to wake up and roll out of bed, journal, go to a coffee shop, chill out, beautiful. The fact that I get to wake up every day and help people and coach people and help people feel the way that I do and create the life that I have, amazing. Because it's exactly in alignment with who I am and who I want to be. The fact that I've been feeling so down about myself just shows the amount of focus that I have on the external validation, that I have on the bullshit. So the biggest change in my day-to-day is like, the biggest change I'm going to make is, show love to those that I have envy for, appreciate everybody, even the cool kids, even the people that reject me, even the people that have more followers than me, even the people that are better looking than me. Just love them. Just love everybody. Cool. You have all that stuff? Great. You have a lot of money? Great. You have that girl? Great. Oh, you're this hot chick rejecting me? Cool. Love your life. You're cool, sis. Do your thing. And all I got to do is focus on my own happiness. Love myself, love my process, love my day-to-day, love the fact that I could wake up, love the fact that I could create financial abundance for myself, love the fact that I could coach people every single day, love the fact that I could create videos every day for a living. Just love it. Just love it all. Love the podcast. Come on here, do my thing, and just enjoy my life. What am I doing? You know what I'm saying? I look around and I'm like, I'm so blessed. I'm blessed. Why am I feeling like this? I'm choosing to feel like this because of this underlying bullshit. And yes, I got my own trauma and drama. That's probably why. And we all do, right? This is what I help people with on a day-to-day basis. Is we got to get to the root of this shit. This is the type of self-reflection I have my coachees do, by the way. Right? These are the action items. I have worksheets that are dedicated to like understanding your patterns and understanding why you feel the way that you do, and you feel so much better because you realize the behaviors and the choices that you're making. Listen, I never claimed to be perfect. And somebody DM'd me after the last podcast and was like yelling at me like, you claim to be so fucking healed. Like, who the fuck are you? And you have all these short-term relationships. I'm like, baby girl, I'm human. I have patterns too. I'm not perfect. I'm never claiming to be that. That's not what I am. What I am is a person that is genuine, though. What I am is a person that shows you that you don't have to be perfect to be lovable. To be able to help people and guide people. I take guidance from my friends. I take guidance anywhere I can get it. I'm taking guidance from a fucking AI. You know what I'm saying? I'm also a student. I might be a teacher, but I am a student first. I am a learner first. I am a beginner first. So that's what it is. I love you guys so much. You have no idea. You have no idea. It's genuine. It's real. It's real as fuck. It's real as fuck. And to all my coachees and the people that I work with, they feel it. They know it. I literally had a coaching call today. By the way, they're an hour long, and I was on the phone with my coachee for an hour and 45 minutes. If you think it's about the money for a second, you're dead fucking wrong. Seriously, you're dead. It just is what it is. And again, what do I need to do? Who gives a fuck? Somebody wants to talk shit about me? Guess what? Fuck you. Actually, not fuck you. I love you. You are, and I'm showing appreciation to you because I love myself. I love my life. I love what I do. I know I'm good at what I do, and I'm not going to let anybody else in my life tell me that I can't do this and that I can't lead people and that I can't be an internet personality or that I can't get into a great commitment, because I know I can. But it starts with me loving myself and appreciating myself and not letting anybody else stop me, because I'm the only one that's blocking myself. Those triggers that I have, those negative comments that people make, if I get triggered by it, that's my responsibility. That's my responsibility. It's not theirs. All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. If you ever want to work with me, you know where to find me. And yeah. Wow. Talk to you guys soon.